one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
Look, I'm through with this false persona. I can't do the Mr. Goody two-shoe shit any longer. Y'all check y'all hoes at the door while I'm putting it on her. Feel less responsible for my actions when I say I'm on the edge and these niggas just keep harassing. Killing people I love, man, this shit just a crime of passion. I know this isn't me, boy, stop asking me what didn't happen. I've been talking to my demons, y'all really thought I was capping. Now y'all scared cause you found that I'm really about all the action. Don't do the pretend shit, all of my problems for instance. Tugging the cheek over tension, nice that we can barely mention. I would say I moved on, but I know that shit hard to convince it. I sleep at ease when she pull up like a hardy convention. Never been harder to fit in. I know niggas, no pot to piss in. Needing assistance, also no niggas ran plays with pistons. Both old wisdom. I sleep in silence, knowing everything good with the profit. I checked the summary last month, made 11 deposits. Everything is big up on the boy, feel like Christopher Wallace. Strong arm the game, who gon' stop him? That nigga too brolic. I've had enough of they twisted logic, that shit retarded. I question everything. I made the wrong choice between a paddock or a wedding ring. Hope you catching everything. They get goosebumps when I spit like when a net is seen.
They've had every opportunity to make this right. And they won't. And I'm like holding my breath. I'm waiting for the other cleat to drop in Baltimore. Like, are you guys going to do it now?
Hell, I might send him a bouquet.
Seriously.
Because Skip, here's the thing, okay? He comes in, Flacco's playing, Flacco get hurt, he playing bad anyway. He comes in, he leads them to the playoffs. The next year, he wins the MVP. The next year, he takes them back to the playoffs and wins the playoff game. So what else do you need to see before you give this man his money? So he plays last year, okay? You don't give him his money. And now, you're in the playoff. Well, Lamar, we're in the playoff, bro. Ooh, we good, Lamar. No, we're not good. And we're not going to be good until you break bread. Make the money right.
Welcome to another episode of Kicking It with Saint. There is so much stuff going on. I was finna curse. There's so much stuff going on in sports right now, bro. I'm telling you, like, I could legitimately make about 10 videos this week just off of all the things surrounding sports. This, not really sports, but football, NFL football. This is a great time of the year also, bro. Playoffs, a lot of things to talk about. But listen, I know if you listen to me on a regular basis, and first off, I appreciate y'all for checking out the channel. I appreciate all my subscribers, the people who listen to me who ain't subscribed. Click that subscribe button. It don't cost you nothing. Like, share, subscribe. I was saying share and subscribe is one word. I was saying subscribe. Listen, I appreciate the support. Continue to support the kid. I'm only going to get better, I promise you. But what's never going to change is me doing my homework when it comes to this stuff. I'm never going to come into these bad boys blind. I did watch every single playoff game this weekend. Saturday, I watched all the Super Wildcard games. I hope you guys enjoyed them. If your team played and lost, that is tough. I told you a couple weeks ago, bro, we wake up for week 1. I do not watch preseason football, bro. That shit is as bad as college football. We wake up week 1 of the season. And for most of us, our team is, well, for some of us, a lot of us, not me, but for a lot of us, our teams, they season over after week 18. But then you got the situation where your team lose in the first round, and it begs the question, is it to have better to have had and lost? Is it better to have had and lost or better to never have had it all? That's the question that people ask themselves when put in these type of positions. You see Joey Bosa getting pissed off, yelling, even though I think Joey Bosa need to learn how to take some fucking accountability for himself. That is just ridiculous. I saw Joey Bosa's interview today, how he basically snapped on the refs. He's going to get a nice little fine from the NFL, even though I don't believe players should be fined for talking about refs. That's absolutely insane to me, even though I do understand you don't want it to turn into like a bullying tactic and things like that. So I guess I don't care that they get fined. But nonetheless, bro, my hand kind of stink right now. And I don't know why. I don't like the smell of my hand. But that's neither here nor there. My palm. Let me put it like that. But listen, that's neither here nor there. Joey Bosa's interview was absolutely wild to me. I don't know why you that mad. You were offsides. You deserve to get those penalties called. Like, I don't understand your frustration. Not only that, you kept going. Like you kept going. They could have thrown you out the game for taking your helmet off and yoinking it on the field like that. Your coach gave you your helmet back. You tossed it again. That, people like to call players selfish and shit like that. What Joey Bosa was doing Saturday was selfish. Joey Bosa basically went rogue and went into business for himself because his emotions was hurt. He wasn't doing his job good enough. And so he cost his team yards because of how he decided to act. It's just the nature of the beast. These things happen all the time. You have to understand this. Now, I don't even blame Joey Bosa for blowing this. He ain't never been in this position before. He couldn't possibly understand how big of a game this is, even though you need to win these games to get to a Super Bowl. So it seems self-explanatory how important these games are. Nonetheless, I'm not going to really go too hard at Joey Bosa for this. Here's why. Because players do it all the time. Players who are new to the playoffs, players who like we saw Pac-Man Jones, Vontaze Burfict do dumb shit in the playoffs to cost his teams. When you don't truly understand, and for Vontaze, it was weird because it was like a 2-year thing. But either way, when you don't religiously get to this spot, I don't really expect you to religiously understand how to act in these type of spots. I don't. Like, let me think of somebody. A Frank Clark, not a Frank Clark. A Chris, how do I forget my name? Chris Jones for the Chiefs. Let's say you put him in a position where he gets offsides and then called for a penalty. I expect him to know how to act in that situation, seeing as how the Chiefs done been in these moments multiple times. I would be harder on Chris Jones for costing his team yards and giving up a 2-point conversion basically because of the yards you gave up. I would be more mad at him than I am at Joey Bosa. Now, with that being said, I'm not condoning Joey Bosa, how he acted in that moment. Like I said, he basically went rogue and went into business with him and his own emotions, because that's why you decide to act like that. You start to think about you and your emotions over the team right now. And I'm not even one of them dudes who say team. Nah, that's been a used and abused statement to make players not worry about themselves, which is something that every human in the world preach: self-care, mental health. But y'all want players to always just go into business for people who don't got their best health and their best interests at heart. So that's weird. But obviously that situation ain't the same in this type of situation where, come on, Joey, I understand you mad. You tired of these people. What do you mean, these people? Now, I know he mean the refs, but listen, Joey, I'm there with the NBA refs. I mean, I feel the exact same way you feel about refs. I hate NBA refs. I hate college refs. I don't watch college basketball anymore. I used to watch college basketball because I'm a big UNC Chapel Hill fan. I do not watch college basketball, bro. The refs are just god awful. They can determine the game more than even the NBA refs do. And the NBA refs is garbage too. Like, I don't understand how you got... I do not like the refs in basketball, bro. I think the refs in basketball have far too much power. Far too much power. They can legitimately start and stop runs. The shit that I done seen and witnessed in basketball games from referees who feel like they got money on the game is ridiculous. I'm never going to forget it. That's why I'll never watch a college basketball game, probably unless it's in the tournament and it's got to be UNC playing. I probably won't watch too many ever again because I'm just so fed up. I remember the year that Carolina went to back-to-back championship games. And I remember how we almost lost that second one. We lost the first one. I hate bringing this up because Jackass hit that shot. Fuck Villanova for life. But I think I hate Villanova more than I hate Duke at this point, bro. Just because they hit that shit and it cost Marcus Page an opportunity of ever winning a championship in college. Because that was his last year. And he balled out. Marcus Page, like one of my favorite players to ever play for UNC Chapel Hill, bro. Marcus Page, Danny Green, Jordan. I'm always put Jordan on there. I didn't watch Jordan, but I fuck with Jordan heavy. So I'm always put Jordan on there, bro, because I love Michael Jordan, bro. I think Michael Jordan is the ultimate GOAT, bro. Like, you need motherfuckers like Michael Jordan in life, bro. You need these bigger than life characters, bro, who deserve to be there because what he did, he earned that spot. So, and he went to UNC Chapel Hill, bro. Come on, man. But my favorite player to ever play for UNC Chapel Hill, at first it was Danny Green for a long time. Him and Tyler Haynes, bro. watching that team. I know some people's favorite player was Ty Law. Ruben, what's my boy's name who played for the Charlotte? I can't even remember my dude's name at the moment, but my favorite player to play for Carolina was Marcus Page. That was my motherfucking guy, bro. I hate that he didn't become a stud in college, bro. But the fact, I knew he wasn't going to be a stud. I mean, I hate that he didn't become a stud in the NBA. But I'm not going to lie. I kind of knew that was going to happen for the simple reason. I mean, come on, man. I got to be honest, man. My man's didn't, he stayed 4 years, bro. 4 years. You don't need 4 years to be a beast, bro. Most dudes leaving one and dones ain't staying no 4 fucking years. I understood that reality. So I knew Marcus Page wasn't going to not necessarily be good in the NBA, but I knew he wasn't going to get too many the opportunities that a first round, that a one and done was going to get. I just knew that was the reality of it all. But I hope Marcus Page start a podcast or something, bro, because I'll watch that shit. I hope he find a way to make some money, bro. To make big money, like go back and work for UNC Chapel Hill. I don't know, bro. I just want Marcus Page to be successful because he provided me a lot of great moments in watching Carolina basketball, bro. To be completely honest with you, because I done watched a lot of different iterations of Carolina basketball. My favorite iteration, some people be like, yo, my favorite iteration is when we sucked and was in the NIT because them rough years. No, bruh. I hate losing, bruh. I hate losing. And I hate competing in the losers tournament, bro. The tournament you compete in when you ain't good enough to get to the big dance. Nah, I ain't with none of that shit. Marcus Page was the last great player, bro, that I got to watch at UNC Chapel Hill, bro. And it just breaks my heart, bro, every day that man did not win a championship there, bro. And in the championship game, he had Michael Jordan elated, bro, with the shot he hit, bro. I never forget that shit, man. And then for them to go down court and hit that fucking shot, man, that shit make him a blood ball. Shit make him a blood ball, man. That shit, man. Fuck Villanova, bro. Fuck dude who hit the shot. Can't remember his name at the moment. I know Josh Hart was on that team, so fuck Josh Hart too. Even though I do vibe with Josh Hart, fuck him. Fuck the coach. Great coach, fuck him. Fuck Villanova as a whole, fuck him. Fuck the school. I can't stand it. To this day, I'll never be able to see those moments, bro. The elation of seeing Marcus Page hit that shot. The ceiling was the fucking roof. To the fucking hell being the absolute fucking ground, bro. Like, what the hell, dog? I was pissed. But we are not here for that. So, back to these Sunday games. So, when I was talking about Joey Bosa, I'm not really sure why I started with Joey Bosa, but I'm getting these interviews out the way, some of the interviews that I caught. J.K. Dobbins interview, I kind of touched up on that one in the Ravens review. And before I even get onto the show, because obviously the show haven't started as far as talking about the team we're going to talk about. We're going to go over the, what game is it? The 49ers game. This is the 49ers game. 49ers and Seahawks game getting talked about in this video. If you waiting to see what team, well, you probably know because the fucking video title and the, all that. But we're going to get into talking about that game eventually, bro. Nonetheless, when, I was looking at J.K. Dobbins' interview. People taking his interview as a shot at Lamar. Like, if we had Lamar, we win that game too. No, I don't think he was saying like he mad Lamar not playing. I think he just saying if we had Lamar, we beat this sorry ass team. I'm pretty sure that was his mentality. Like, not, man, if Lamar jackass play. Nah, and if we had our big dog, we would have beat y'all bitches. That's more in tune. Like, it's real interesting looking at white men talk about and break down how black men talk and what they say, because they're not necessarily breaking down how we talk, but they don't understand what we saying because of how some of us talk, how most of us talk. It's a cultural thing. I'm not mad at them for it, but they clearly don't do their homework to understand. And if they had more black people who were like us working in the media, because it's black people out there who done been working in the media so long, they cannot relate to black plights anymore. It's just the reality. People hate to hear that, especially but I'm not calling you a coon. It's a difference between being a coon and being somebody who just is so disconnected at this point that you just, you know what I'm saying? It's some rich people who ain't even bad people, but they done been rich for so long, they can't understand the plights of broke people no more. And some black people done been able to live in luxury with white people for so long. That's what they've been around. They can't, now it's, they use their circumstances on all black people. Like, well, I worked out of poverty, so every black person should be. You know what I'm saying? They start to forget the disadvantages of that black people have and the things that black people up against. So I'm not necessarily, and I'm not saying that these people is like always agreeing with white people and things like that, like shaming, just ridiculing back. They just can't they done lost a bit of their sympathetic side. And so I just feel like J.K. Dobbins' comments and a lot of different comments that black people make in the NFL and sports, not necessarily basketball. Basketball is a more up-to-date type of sport where the announcers and whatnot seem to be more up-to-date on players and how they talk. And that's because basketball is is the closest thing to a African-American type of welcome sport, in my opinion, growing up. Like, I've never questioned. I know the NBA done had their racist owners, but every league, in my opinion, got racist owners. That's just the reality. It's old white dudes running these teams. But to me, the NBA done felt like the league that's done the most, to celebrate black people. It just feel like they feel like, and it might be for show sometimes, but they good at putting on a show, because I don't know if it's another sport that rep black people the way the NBA do. And that's probably why so many African-American boys flock to the NBA as the sport they watch. I done seen more African-American boys say they don't watch football than any other race. I got a whole bunch of homies who don't watch football. They watch the fuck out of basketball, though. I'm like one of my only friends I'm one of the only homies in my homies group that don't watch the NBA as much. Now, I used to watch the NBA a lot because Kobe. And the only reason I'm still watching it now is because Curry. But I don't watch the NBA before the NFL season ends. That's just never going to happen. And it ain't never happened. I start watching the NBA. Well, it used to happen when I watched Kobe. But now I watch the NBA after the All-Star break. Excuse me. Or the All-Star break is my first official full game that I watch, All-Star weekend. Because no sport do All-Star weekend better than the NBA. But I'm not watching basketball games before the Super Bowl. It's just not before football season in. It's not going to happen. One day when this channel get bigger and I got more people working with me, obviously basketball will be an all the time thing, because I'll have people on the channel who constantly talk about basketball and watch basketball. But me right now, as I'm working with just me, yeah, I'm not doing basketball and football during football season. That's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But with that being said, like I said, I don't think J.K. Dobbins meant anything negative by what he said. I don't even think he was taking a shot at Tyler Huntley. I think he was simply taking a shot at Greg Roman. If it was a shot to be taken, it was at Greg Roman and Harbaugh. Like, bruh, y'all don't use me. Like, I am better than what y'all is than what I'm showing. I understand I've been hurt, but y'all not even giving me an opportunity to show you that I'm still that dude. And to his credit, he have been that dude since he got back. But they haven't given him the opportunity to be that dude in the most important parts of games. And that's, now, some people could say, well, JK always hurt, so that's his fault. It's just so crazy to me how people decide to immediately take the team's side and shit. Bro, in every form of life, it's rage against the machine, fight the man, except for when it come to other players' money or professional athletes' money, bro. And I just can, for the life of me, I don't understand how humans can have such decency towards each other in everyday life, but then once they start to look at athletes, the inhumanity just leave. Like they can no longer see these athletes as humans because they make so much money playing a kid's game. Even though I don't remember the last time I saw kids playing football tearing ACLs, MCLs, PCLs, and all these other type of injuries. Cannot remember the last time I went to a little league game and saw these things. Am I saying these things cannot happen? No, I am not. But the chances of them happening at these young ages, very slim compared to in the NFL. So just very weird to me, bro, how people view athletes all the time. But I don't got a problem with J.K. Dobbins' comments. J.K. basically reiterating the shit that I be saying. The offense ain't good enough. The coach ain't changed. And I love John Harbaugh. I'm never going to get on here and advocate for John Harbaugh to be fired. I'm just not. However, I'm not happy with Harbaugh. Throwing Lamar Jackson under the bus is what you was doing, bro. You might not realize that's what you was doing, because I don't even believe John Harbaugh was doing it intentionally, unless he was. Because it just seemed like he done been a good man through his time in Baltimore. He ain't never given me a reason, even though I do remember the Ed Reed story on how they didn't like him when he first came. He ain't never really given us a reason, at least me, to not like him or to not trust him. Boy, this Lamar thing changing everything. Because it's funny when you see a franchise never have and didn't have. People act like the Baltimore Ravens done won 5-6 Super Bowls. Motherfucker, they got 2. 2. And the last one was about a decade plus ago. Somebody right now saying, well, it's not easy to win Super Bowls. I didn't say it was. I said stop treating the Ravens like they the Steelers, the Patriots, or the Cowboys. What's up with y'all? Like, this team can be critiqued too. But this ain't a Lamar Jackson video. But this is a Lamar Jackson channel, basically. So you know we always going to touch up on number 8. That guy. And number 8 stand for new beginnings. So my mans might as well start up a new beginning elsewhere. We're going to have a lot of time to talk about Lamar in the offseason. But I want to talk about, I was going to say the Buffalo Bills. Listen, bro. When we talk about the Buffalo Bills, I understand, bro. I'm not happy that my channel is not huge right now, but maybe it's a good thing at this moment because of how I rep for Josh Allen. People will go crazy with his performance he had on Sunday. 3 fumbles, lost 1, 2 picks. Don't care. Did they win? Did they win? I rock with Trevor Lawrence. He threw 4 interceptions. Did my boy win? Plain and simple, bro. Now, I want to talk about this Cincinnati. I want to talk about the Seattle Seahawks they went into San Fran to take on the 49ers. Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Now, I'm going to tell you what's interesting. I done seen some people who done started basically saying like, I like Brock, but I'm not dumb. I can see that this is the 49ers. And it's so refreshing to see analysts finally start to look at these games the right way. Because I like Brock Purdy, too. I've been on the Brock Purdy train from the beginning, basically. After he had like 2 games, I was like, yeah, they can win with Brock. But I never got overhyped because I'm not stupid. I watch the 49ers a lot. Bro, if you look at this channel, you already know I watch him because of how much I rave about Kyle Shanahan. It's no fucking way y'all really believe, Brock Purdy should not win Rookie of the Year. It's no way I'm giving him Rookie of the Year. However, you can make an argument that a Rookie Offensive Player of the Year. Some people gonna make an argument. He the quarterback. His team finished in first. He stabilized the team once he came in. Yada, yada, yada. And so if you want to make that argument, I'm not trying to argue with you about that argument. I don't think this was one of those years where the Offensive Rookie of the Year was just it was won by somebody and nobody else had a chance. Like in past years where like Justin Jefferson or, other dudes who done won the award. So I don't agree with that. So if he winning, I'm not going to be mad. However, this game, one thing I noticed this weekend, all the quarterbacks who had never been here before, all was a little jittery to start. Probably except for Geno. Geno was the only one who Geno even looked kind of shaky to start. Like Brock Purdy was trying to throw interceptions to start the game, which I don't watch Brock Purdy damn near every game. I think I missed 1 game that they played. But I've been watching Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy throw about 1 or 2 interceptions every game that just don't get caught. So that didn't really bother me. It was how inaccurate he was throwing the ball for the routes that was being ran. Like he was missing dudes who was wide open. He was not making throws that is simple throws to make in this offense. And that was more of okay, Brock, just calm down. I know it's the playoffs. It's your first playoff appearance. The height, the magnitude, the atmosphere, all that I thought was getting to him early. But after like his first 2-3 drives, my boy settled in, calmed down, and just worked that and played within the game plan. And that's all you have to do with a Kyle Shanahan offense, especially when the defense you're going up against on the other side of the ball is Seattle's. I like Seattle. I don't like Seattle's defense right now. Seattle's defense give up way too many yards, in my opinion, like pointless. Like, if you go watch this game, listen, I understand Kyle Shanahan is a great offensive play caller. The amount of dudes who just running wide open for the 49ers right now is just absolutely ridiculous. And here's my problem. if you the San Francisco, if you Seattle, this is the third time you done played this team this year. And you still could not find a way to slow this team down. That's a problem because Baltimore played Cincinnati 3 times this year. The last 2 times they played them, Cincinnati was clearly the better team. Baltimore played great games because it's as if they adjusted after playing them this many times this year and seeing them all the time in the past. That not happening for Seattle, and I know some people are like, well, they ain't got this, they ain't got that. I like their cornerback. I like Quandre Diggs. Quandre Diggs dropping interceptions a lot lately, man. And that's one of the dudes who I was raving about his hands, bro. Quandre Diggs, I done seen my boy drop like 3 or 4 interceptions in the last month. Probably more than that. I'm like, man, damn, Quandre, bro, what's up? He dropped one in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Shit went right to him. I'm like, man, damn, bro, what are you doing? Now, obviously, I wanted the 49ers to win this game, but still, I fuck with players, so I'm a root for players to have great games. I wanted Quandre Diggs to ball out, but I'm seeing my boy drop interceptions, and I'm like, my boy, what happened to his hands? Come on, my boy. Let's get right. Either way, the 49ers, Seattle's defense to me is what cost them this game. Well, I'm not going to say that's what cost them. It's what was going to cost them regardless because they just could not stop the 49ers, and they didn't capitalize on Brock Purdy playing bad early in the game. They could have put Brock Purdy and them boys in a 14-0 hole early, but they didn't because defense just ain't elite no more. And the offense didn't. Geno played one of the things that I realized when I was watching Geno, and I liked watching Geno this game because it was an interesting game. Because you look at Geno early before before the fumble happened that completely flipped the game. You look, and it's funny that shit happened in the red zone after they worked their way down the field and they fumbled the ball. Geno fumbled the ball. I'm looking at his stats, right? And he completing over 60% of his passes, like he dominating the passing stats and yada yada yada. But as I'm looking at it, I'm like, but why do it feel like he not having an impact that this 49ers offense is having, right? Because they got great weapons on Seattle also. They might not got Ayuk, what's my man's name? Debo, Kittle, Juszczyk, Juice, McCaffrey, C-Mac. Like, they might not have all those and the offensive brilliance of a Kyle Shanahan, but they got good enough weapons, which they did have good enough weapons. It's so interesting seeing how they use Geno in this scheme because they try to let him play a safe game for a large portion of the game, and then you try to take the shots. Like, DK Metcalf was absolutely torching Ward. I can't even remember my man's first name, but the cornerback Ward got lit the fuck up in this game by DK. I do think a couple better throws would have had DK even a better game. But here's my thing with the Geno, because I don't think Geno played a bad game on the field. I don't think Geno did nothing wrong. I think the game plan is the problem. They couldn't run the ball to capitalize off of all the short throws and, the quick throws that Geno was making. Because that's kind of what the Seattle offense, that's what a lot of offenses are with quarterbacks. They try to do a lot of quick throws and shit like that. The better quarterbacks usually stand in the pocket. They draw a bigger play. Like the Josh Allens, the Mahomes, the Burrows, the Jackson. That's one of the reasons I really don't bitch too much about them throwing interceptions, because I understand they trying to do more than just keep hitting check downs. And little short 5, 2, 3 yard routes and shit. When you see that work as effective as it did, though, for the Seahawks for as long as it did, and it helped that you got DK and Tyler Lockett, to not really be able to have a strong run game to back that type of offense up, because I don't think you can dink and dunk your way to a victory a lot of times nowadays. Now, especially against a team like the 49ers, who, if you decide to continue to run these short routes, the 49ers just going to keep sitting on them. Like, they're not even going to try to play deep because they know you're going to keep throwing it short. That's why DK can burn past a Ward. However, the game plan should have been more aggressive, I think. I don't think the Seahawks played nearly as aggressive a game as they could have. And I don't know if that's a fear of Geno throwing the game away with interceptions. But when you cannot run the ball, because I like they running back, but he fell off back towards the back end of the season. when you don't run as effective as you would like to run to where it can make a difference in the game, I feel like in a playoff game like this, you got to be more aggressive, especially considering who you playing against. Considering every time the 49ers get the ball, they can score. The bigger problem is they don't need Brock Purdy to play a great game. They got great players around him who play great games. So as long as he just gets the ball to where it needs to go, like it was a play he had to Deebo Samuel, it was like a 2-yard throw. Deebo took that bitch about 60 yards or 40-something yards. Like, when you have an opposing team on the other side of you where the quarterback can just do the absolute bare minimum and you still get your ass whooped, to me, and you don't even have as many, like, it wasn't like they went out there and had the Josh Allen turnover type of game. They didn't have that. Shout out to my boy Josh. They didn't have that. They had the one turn. I think they did have another turnover in this game, but I know for a fact they had the fumble down there in the red zone, which completely turned this game around. The turnovers after that really don't matter to me because that's when the game just completely flipped. Seattle once that turnover happened, the 49ers went down and scored, 3-and-out, scored. Like, to me, when you have this type of situation, and if you truly trust Geno the way you say you do, the way they were passing the ball throughout this game early, I just think you got to be a little bit more aggressive, bro. Like, DK was destroying Ward. I would have probably given DK 15 targets. I'm not even lying to you. That's how good he was playing. When a receiver is dominating that corner like that and they not sending help, they not doubling, you got to keep attacking that. Joe Burrow do something that I like. When he realized that teams going to continue to play off of his, now he don't do it all the time, which is weird to me. But a lot of times, he'll just continue to throw the same route to Jamar Chase. Because Jamar Chase is going to keep getting open on it because defenses continue to play back. But if that's how they're going to play with San Fran, mind you, people talk about San Fran's defense. The weakest part of their defense is the secondary. The secondary for the 49ers can be had. It's that front and the linebackers that's the problem. The secondary can be had, which was proven by DK, which was proven by Lockett. But because the game plan wasn't as aggressive enough, I don't think, and because I think Seattle need to come up with new ways to run the ball. Like, when you think about Seattle in the past being a great run team, it wasn't because they drew up great run designs or nothing like that. It's because they had Marshawn Lynch, a stud. Now, when you don't have a stud playing the running back position, but you have a great running back, he's just not a stud like Marshawn yet, you got to be able to help him get easier yards on the ground. It's not always he just ain't finding the holes. He not hitting the hole. Maybe the holes ain't opening properly. Maybe he not seeing the right holes. Or maybe you should figure out a fucking way to get him more effective throughout the game. Figure out more ways to get him involved and make differences. That's what's the beauty in a Kyle Shanahan offense. Look at all the different type of things they do to try to score and move the ball. To me, Seattle's and I just think that anytime you got a head coach that's a defensive-minded coordinator and they don't, because I think Seattle's offense is surviving off of the fact that Geno had a great year and you got two studs playing receiver. You got two number ones playing receiver. People don't like to talk about that or don't never really talk about that in Seattle. Tyler Lockett is number one, as is DK. So when you have that type of weaponry, I just don't like losing like this. By this many points. I don't like being, and I think they played an aggressive game. Like, I truly think the thing that changed for Seattle was the fact that the defense for the 49ers was just more of a problem than the defense. Because the 49ers defense at any moment, they always putting constant pressure on you. That's why you got to run the type of offense they was running. But once you finally start to score some points and you get these boys on the rope, that's when you have to go full. You got to go all in, capitalize on this. You cannot let this team take advantage of you not being aggressive. Because as soon as the 49ers realize that this team, we can put them away right now. They usually do. They have a ultra aggressive head coach. And you want to know what I love about Kyle Shanahan? And obviously Kyle Shanahan is my favorite coach in the NFL, if that haven't been proven over the last 2 years. Kyle Shanahan is aggressive, but he ain't dumb aggressive. It's like Andy Reid. Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan make aggressive decisions in their play calling, but it's not decisions that you can just outwardly see that, oh, well, if he make this is going to cost him the game. Like a Brandon Staley or some of the other coaches who make dumbass decisions on downs that could cost them. Whereas Kyle Shanahan making those aggressive decisions throughout the majority of the game. He's not waiting for a big play to happen. He's setting up these moments so that all of it pay off in the end, so he don't have to make a dumb decision or come down to a controversial decision at the end of games. This is why I love Kyle Shanahan so much. I just think I don't know if it's a coach in the NFL right now that I would take over Kyle Shanahan right now. Now, I don't care about their resumes and all that. Right now, I would take Kyle Shanahan. Sean McVay is the second coach I would take. Well, you might think that's weird, but Sean McVay now this is not the Kyle Shanahan is right now. The Sean McVay one is that's not based off of what they just did. I know he just had a bad season. That's just me about to give Sean McVay some credit. Shout out to Sean McVay for coming back to the Rams. Winners do not leave on those type of seasons. And because I knew my boy was a winner this whole time, I had a feeling he was coming back. The only way he would have left is if Aaron Donald told him he was retiring at the end of the season. That's the only way. I'm coming back even if Stafford not back, because I want my career to be connected with the best player on this team. That's Aaron Donald. Matthew Stafford don't give me the best chance of winning. Aaron Donald do. I can go out there and get another quarterback that can do for me more actually than what than what Stafford can do right now, because that's the type of offensive mind that Sean McVay is. To Sean McVay's credit, much like Kyle Shanahan, and even more than Kyle Shanahan to an extent, both phenomenal generational play callers and coaches both got to a Super Bowl. Kyle Shanahan could be headed back to his second one and winning his second one like Sean McVay. Sean McVay done already been to 2 Super Bowls. I would not say he done been to a Super Bowl with a Hall of Fame quarterback yet, because I do not think Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Fame quarterback. We know Jared Goff ain't a Hall of Fame quarterback. Jared Goff is a better quarterback right now than Matthew Stafford. Who do you think the Rams would rather be going into the season with right now, Stafford or Goff? So when you have these type of quarterbacks that continuously put you in these type of situations, I just think it's even more amazing to see what Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan do. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Seasons like this that Sean McVay just had don't really bother me at all, because it's just the nature of the beast. It's the NFL. Shit happen, unless you Mike Tomlin. It's just the nature of the beast. But Mike Tomlin ain't been to a Super Bowl in damn near 2 decades. So, you can be appreciative of winning a lot of games and still be dissatisfied with not getting to the big game. Because I'm more of a person like, you could take all these fucking wins and give me 2 Super Bowl wins and I'll be satisfied. Like, I don't need 150 wins. I can take 80 wins and get me 2 Super Bowl trophies and I'll be perfectly content. I don't care too much I understand winning there to get there is the process, but when I get there, I care far more about that game than any of these other games and records and accumulations of things. It's like Lamar Jackson said when they asked him. Jim Trotter said he asked him, would you, at the end of your career, which one would you prefer? A Super Bowl, a Lombardi trophy, or a gold jacket? Without hesitation, Lamar Jackson said a Super Bowl. And that's also me. Like, I'd be happy to get both of them. But if I can only get one of them, oh yeah, I need that Super Bowl, bro. Listen, I am a championship-oriented minded person, bro. If it ain't the chip, that's why Jordan gonna always be the GOAT for me, bro. Well, he ain't gonna be the GOAT because I look at Kobe as my GOAT, but Jordan gonna always be the overall GOAT to me when I had to have that discussion with other people. But I'm always started with Kobe as my GOAT because that's who I watched my whole life. However, that man Jordan went to 6 and won all 6, bro. I don't care what you try to put around him. I don't care the excuses you try to make. I don't care about, well, LeBron been to more. Kobe been to more too. Steph done been to more too. They ain't 6 and 6, or they ain't perfect. You know how hard it is to be perfect in that game when you play 7 games series, and who knows how many games it was back then. You know how hard that shit was? In the era that Jordan had to play it in, bro, Jordan the GOAT, bro. I don't care what y'all motherfuckers say. Plus, like I done said before, bro, I'm a Jordan fiend because I got my first tattoo was a Jordan quote. Never say never, because fears. No. Let me see what it say. I ain't read my tattoo in a minute. I ain't been broke in a minute. Look at me. Sorry to all y'all Tory Lane haters out there. Never say never, because limits like fears are often just an illusion. I need to get this shit touched up now that I'm looking at it, but I'm gonna get another tattoo around it very soon. Probably on my birthday, to be completely honest with you, this coming up in March. Cause because I got a raven symbol, and then I got the quote. I got a rose going through the quote. I'm gonna end up getting more roses intertwined within this quote. I only got one rose intertwined in the quote right now because I just wanted to see how it would look. It looked fire though. The rose is red because you can see red on my skin. Bro, I'm not even gonna get into this. Nah, I am. I got a cousin. I don't know what drug she was smoking. I'm not dark. Like I wouldn't mind if I was, but I'm like a salted caramel. Nah, I ain't got white spots on the kid. I'm like a dark caramel, bro. Like a little burnt caramel. Like you let it cook a little bit long. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't a red bone. I ain't light skinned. I used to be. I remember the first time I wasn't as light skinned as I was. I remember two women. Yeah, apologies. I remember two women who I was at school with. They came in one day and I was like, damn, Jay, you done got a tan, huh? I ain't know what the fuck they was talking about at the time. And then I came home and my mama, who was around me most of the summer, was like, you got a tan? I see you working that tan. It's because I was at summer camp. Not summer camp as in like, I went to this camp called Royal Families Kids Camp for adopted children, children in danger, all those type of things. Dopest camp I ever been to. Also, it was the only real summer camp I went to. Like when you're around other kids and it's like a summer camp vibe, like that shit was fire. I ain't gonna lie. We did this shit called the Polar Bear Swim on one of the days we was there. I made sure I was always one of the first month. I wish I had all my mama used to keep them awards. I don't know where she got them right now. We ain't never really sat down to go look at them. At least not me. Cause I'm not really somebody who take pictures of moments and things like that. I'm trying to be better with that. I'm one of them people who I keep it in my head. I try to be like, man, I can remember it. I don't need to take a picture. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the value of being able to look at these memories rather than just having them in your head. Because somebody else might want to see them. You know what I'm saying? I just never really been a picture type of motherfucker. Like my entire life, I don't like taking pictures. And I'm not ugly, at least not to me. And I haven't been told I was ugly. I got told I was ugly one time by this one woman. But I don't really know if she really felt that or if she was just mad because of the altercation we had just had. Because I don't think she really thought I was ugly. But if she did, you know, shout out to her. We all ugly to somebody. But we also look great to people. So you got to remember that when you get down about people telling you you're ugly. You got to remember, for every 10 people that think you ugly, hopefully ain't 10 people that think you ugly, but it's just the reality we live. It's 100 people who think you look phenomenal. Drop their pants for you right now. That's how good you look. You got to remember that. Keep your self-esteem high, bro. But back to the game. Brock Purdy played a good game. I think really when you move to the offseason, what happened with Geno Smith? I think they should bring him back, but I don't know if that's my franchise quarterback. I'm going to be honest. I think Pete Carroll fuck with Geno heavy. So Geno he gonna give Geno the opportunity. But imagine you get this opportunity to draft a quarterback and you don't go after a generational quarterback that could be generational. I don't know if there's one in there. And maybe they plan is we can't get Bryce Young because that's consensus the best quarterback in this draft. Then we just going to stick with Geno. And with the way Pete Carroll believe in himself, it wouldn't shock me, especially when you got the weapons that they have. However, you do risk this being a one-off type of season for Geno. So if you do make the commitment to bring Geno back, which I think they probably should, you got to go all in on Geno. Like, he got to get all the first team reps, which I'm pretty sure he get. You got to bring in somebody that's going to get him to that next level because you can't be content with him having Geno good because he was bad in the past. Now it's an expectation. You have to have an expectation. This is our franchise quarterback for the next however many years. My bad for that audio fuck up right there. You have to have the expectations that for the next number of years, this is our quarterback. This is the dude who we going into battle with. This is the dude who going to give us a chance to win a Super Bowl when we build around him and yada, yada, yada. If that is not the plan, if you cannot see yourself envisioning then you got to go get a quarterback, in my opinion. But I would not be because I don't think Geno really had a bad season. I understand how he looked back towards the back end of the season, but I always credit that to the fact that, listen, Geno had to do a lot of work to get to where he is. And as much as I would love to give Seattle credit for getting Geno to where he at, I give Seattle credit because they gave him an opportunity. Seattle is not an offensive-minded organization. I'm not finna just give them random-ass credit for Geno's leap. The confidence in that they had in him is all clearly that's gonna make a difference. But to give him all the credit for everything Geno done is insane. Now, when you see what Geno has done this year, now, like I said, you have to know who to put around him to get even more. Because it can't be just, oh, Geno had a good year, decent year compared to his past. No. We're not basing you off your past no more. If we make you the franchise quarterback, now we are expecting to win. And you in a division where you don't really have a superstar quarterback yet. Because, listen, Kyle Shanahan could possibly not have a superstar quarterback for a while. Even though I truly believe Cal is looking for a franchise quarterback. I think Cal believes if I had a franchise quarterback, I'd be in the Super Bowl every fucking year. I truly believe that he think that, and I also think that. I think the one thing that's stopping the 49ers from becoming the boogeyman of the NFL is that they don't have a Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. And see, if I was the 49ers, I would do everything in my power to try to make a trade for Lamar Jackson in the offseason. I would do everything in my power to get Lamar Jackson to the 49ers, because that's where I want to see Lamar. You know, we talk about all these different teams he could go to. I want to see him in San Francisco with a head coach and with the weapons. That's where I want to see him. And it's not a far-fetched possibility because the Ravens are not going to want to play Lamar Jackson in the AFC. They are going to trade him to an NFC team if they can. And the NFC team that I think will go all out for Lamar Jackson is the 49ers. Because I believe they know how to draft. So I think the 49ers would be willing to give up Joey Bosa for Lamar. I mean, anybody giving up a player as great as Joey Bosa is, he don't have the impact that a Lamar Jackson had. So obviously you trade that. But if I'm the 49ers, that's my goal. But obviously you don't got to think about that because you're moving on to the next round. Now, I saw the reports that the 49ers might go after Tom Brady in the offseason. I'm not opposed to that. People hating on Brady still. You know, I ain't going to never be the dude that's hating on the GOAT. But it just depends on where you think Brock Purdy is. I like Brock Purdy, but I'm watching Brock Purdy. He just Alex Smith, a more athletic Alex Smith. And I don't even know if he is as athletic as Alex Smith, but to me, he's just Alex Smith. That's what I call great backups who don't do too much. They don't try to take over the game by doing dumb shit. Like Brock Purdy made a throw where he had to spin around and something to escape a little pressure. And he made a throw to a wide open running back in the flat. And the people was talking like, oh my God, look at his throw that he made, bro. Are you serious? Like, so Brock Purdy played a decent game. He did what he needed to do. I'm glad my boy got back on track after a rough first start. But this Kyle Shanahan offense is who I'm giving the credit to, not just Brock Purdy. But to me, you look at everything that the 49ers as a whole, to me, is probably the second most complete team in football. The only reason I can't put them over the Eagles is because the Eagles still have Jalen Hurts, who was better than Brock Purdy. And that's not my mind won't be changed on that no time soon. Not even if Brock Purdy, because I can understand Brock Purdy is not being asked to do with all these other. And the funny thing is, I say that Brock not being asked to do what the other franchise quarterbacks being asked to do. It'll still be people out there who be like, well, look at the team Jalen Hurts got around him. Yeah, but Jalen Hurts is still going out there being asked to be the franchise quarterback. Like, he not just relying on all the talent around him to get him through a game. The talent is more so relying on him to have great games to get them through. You're not relying on Brock Purdy to have a great game. Obviously, you want the quarterback to play good, to play decent, but you're not asking them to be great. Like, Trevor Lawrence is being asked to put the team on his back and win games. Like, you are our franchise. That's why he can throw 4 interceptions and the team not going to stop making him throw, because our chance of winning is with Trevor being Trevor, a winner. That's why I fuck with Trev, bro. Listen, people can question on why I feel the way I feel about a Justin Herbert or a Joe Burrow. Listen, all I know is the dudes who I fuck with heavy, like a Lamar or Trevor Lawrence, I ain't got no questions about them two. Them two ain't playing with mega talent around them. Shout out to Evan Ingram, though. He deserved to be paid like a top tight end in the game. To me, he should be a top 5 paid tight end. He that good. I've always thought Evan Ingram was good. And I'm happy to see the Giants, Daniel Jones, having a little bit of success. I still don't believe in Daniel Jones, but I'm glad he having the success he having right now. But I'm also glad Evan Ingram is having success also. Because so many times you see these things happen where a player leave a team, the team has success, and then it's like, oh, well, we was losing when we had him. You know, they can't never let the player just be happy where they at. They got to go ridicule the player. And then you got the player who can't just let the team move on. They got to ridicule the team. I'm one of them motherfuckers that once the connection is cut, we ain't got to go back to it, my boy. What's done is done. What was said was said. We ain't never got to talk, speak, see each other ever again. It's a mute point to me. I'm not finna let this hinder. I done had to cut off. I'm not a person who like talking like this because I hate it when people post this type of ridiculous shit. Hey, man, I'm about to block a lot of people today. You make this block list. I don't know too much about that buffoonery, but I'm the type of person that when I realize that it's no reason for me to be fucking with you no more because our interests don't align or our loyalties don't align or your loyalty in me is no longer there for whatever reason, which it's never a reason to lose faith in me because I ain't never been a disloyal motherfucker. If I ask you for money, I always pay it back. If I ask you for a favor, you got that favor tenfold from me. Ask anybody who know me. Anybody who know me know. I done had motherfuckers come up to me and be shocked at how good I did them. And they be like, bro, you really gonna look out for me like this? Yeah, because you remember all the way back when you looked out for me? Yeah, I never forget those moments. It don't matter how big or little it is. It might have been small to you in that moment. To me, I only asked you because it was a big thing in that moment because I don't ask people for shit. So if I asked you, it was big deal, a huge deal. So because I'm that type of individual, it's just to me, and maybe I'm biased because, you know, I'm not finna be talking crazy about myself. Even though I'm very honest. I'll tell you if I got flaws and things like that. I'm not perfect. But I believe I'm perfect when it comes to that. Not even perfect. I wouldn't even say perfect, but I'm damn near close because I can't be perfect at that till I'm rich. When I'm rich, then it's a whole different story. But as perfect as I possibly can be with the circumstances I have been given, I have been nothing but a loyal person. So I would never understand somebody losing, you know, their loyalty to me. But I just understand that's how things go at times, bro. And like when you cut people off, just be done with them. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you know for a fact they ain't no good for you or the relationship is severed or it's not. Like when I cut off a dude who probably I thought or considered a close brother or something like that, it's not because, you know, we did. Nah, it could be because the what they had to do had to be so, you know, fucked up. It don't even have to be something they did. It could be a mental shift that change everything. It could just be a mental shift. I done had some of these situations happen over the last, well, I can't say year because it's just January, but, you know, over time, where I lost dudes who I thought was like brothers. And I'm not mad at it. It just is what it is. This is the life. This is a life in which people just lose faith in you. Two of the dudes who I just lost, I thought I was very close to. Never thought I'd lose these two dudes. Probably will never speak to them another day in my life. I wish them the best. I wish them nothing but success. But for them to have these feelings of how they feel towards me is absolutely asinine, in my opinion. Absolutely asinine. And one of them is a complete bitch. And he lucky I'm not going to say his name. And I'm not scared about addressing him or him seeing this because I will beat his ass and the other dude's ass that I'm talking about right now. Now, I didn't want it to get that aggressive because I'm a very respectful person. But I just want that to be understood. You're going to have to pull out a gun and blow my motherfucking brains out before you beat my ass. So I'm not going to never be scared of saying how I feel. Because if somebody feel like I said something that's so offensive that they got to fight me, oh, we can get it popping. Now, I'm trying to get better. I don't want to continue to be at that level. You know what I'm saying? I want to have the ability to say something, people get mad, and me say, I don't care if you mad, my guy. Well, I do have that thing. It's just with certain people, bro. It's just certain people. But the dudes who I done cut off, I don't even say I cut them off. I'm saying they cut me off, basically, with how they acted. And then I got this one bozo who I had to cut off because, you know, he just never going to get right. But if they ever hit me up needing anything, would I ever look out for them again? Yep. I will help them out one time. But I'll never forget how they did me. And that's the cord has been cut. It's no looking backs or nothing like that. They're gonna ask me for something one day. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna send it to them, and I'm never gonna talk to them again. I'm gonna continue to not talking to them. That's the type of person I am. So I think that's how teams and players should be. Once cut the connection. I don't need no revenge game against you when I play you the next time I see you. I don't care about none of that shit, bro. I done moved on. I make great money. Bro, you are not a burden or a hindrance in my life, and you definitely not a thought that's gonna stay on my mind. That's just how I think, though. Everybody don't think like that. That's just how I think. But, that's just me. That being said, though, funny way to end the show. I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. That was the Seattle Seahawks 49ers breakdown. The 49ers did end up winning the game. I realized I did not say that throughout the breakdown. I like this breakdown, though, bro. I think this is a good breakdown, bro. You might think different, but I was fucking with it. But listen, tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You could be anything in this world. Choose to be kind to somebody. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking or something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.